where I explore lifestyle, sometimes beauty, because I'm really not a girly girl like that, and also diving into wellness, dealing with mental health, and sharing some tips and tricks where you can re-explore yourself. And meanwhile, I'm doing the same thing too. So you're not alone, and we end this together. I need to work on that. But um, today's video is probably a bit personal. Yeah, it's probably a bit personal because um, and honestly, okay, this video is directing to young adults. Okay, now if you're a teenager watching this, please, please take it with a grain of salt. All right, but if you have any comments or need help, just post it in the comment below. But yeah, by the look of the title, I'm here to share advice, tips, where to help you gain confidence to stand up to your parents. And I come from an African culture background, which even with my title, some who is so close-minded would think that I'm being rude or not being respectful because I come from the African community, which there's invisible assumption that you have to bow down to your parents. You have to do everything what they tell you to do. You can't say no to them. Like, you have to respect the rules. And guess what? There's no age guideline. Like, they don't care how old you are. If they want you to do this, you need to do that. Now, I feel like the guys have it easier, to be honest with you. It's just a lot of time I see like girls, especially eldest daughters like me, where parents have all these rules and regulation on us, but they don't have it on the son, which is very backward because the sons carry the family name. Y'all should be hard on the sons. Why are you hard on us? Truly don't get it. Truly backward. But that's the formula of the African community that I was raised in. Obviously, I have seen other African parents on TikTok who y'all probably are lucky enough to have, who's not very strict and narcissistic and toxic that way. But to be honest, I would say about 90% of African parents think like that. And like, I find like adults, kids who feel stuck and don't know how to speak up for themselves. I see those type of kids around me all the time. You know, they don't want to be rude. They want to do what their parents tell them to do. Like, you know, and honestly, I was one of them kids. Like, I wanted to make my one parent happy, but as you keep on doing that, you're gonna meet with unfulfillment. You're gonna go into a career that you're not fulfilled in. You're gonna work in a job environment that you wish you just did what you wanted to do that was in your heart, but you didn't because you just wanted to follow and make your parents happy. So even right now in my late 20s, I'm probably late to that game. So this video is definitely for definitely from my girls, like my young adult girls who's like in their 20s for sure. Now, if you're like 18 or in high school, this is definitely for you, but please don't fight me. I want to get in trouble. But this is definitely for my immigrant girls, especially for my first chance girls, and my international girls. But if you're a woman or a woman of color and you also have you was raised around strict parents, that was a little bit conservative, this can be for you too. Um, Even though I am team woman every day to the death of me, um, this can also be for men, for guys who are also facing this. Which, to be honest, I'll be a little bit surprised because when I say I have seen a lot of men in my African community done a lot of wild shit. Like if I was to do that, honey, I'll I'll probably never show my face out in public. But if you're a guy and you're struggling with this video can be helpful to you too. It's helpful for everybody. But don't fight me. I'm telling you, don't fight me. I'm somebody very um rebellious. I feel like I always was rebellious, but that I kind of hid that for a long time. But now she's back. She's back and she's here to stay. So whatever advice I say, and if you don't like it, it's okay. Just wait for the other advice. But like I said, don't fight me. I'm not telling y'all to be rude to your parent. I'm telling y'all to stand up to them, especially if you're an adult in your late 20s. You need to stand up to them. And especially if you're a kid, you need to stand up to them because if not, you're going to be me in the future working at the corporate job that you hate, which is unfulfilling, and you come home being depressed as hell. Do you want to be like that? No, nobody don't want to be like that. Because especially not to be emo and dark, we all gonna die. We don't know when. So when I do something that makes you happy, and if somebody want to stop you from doing that, which is mainly most of the time the parent, you have to learn to stop them on your tracks. You know? But look at my nose. So pretty much as a grown woman, I understand why my parent was strict. I truly understand. But sometimes parents' strictness can also block us from our true potential. That's my opinion. Because even growing up, I used to have all these desires, all these dreams, big dreams I wanted to do, but it was shut down. Because they wanted me to pull away from that and follow the straight line path. Like I said, I totally understand that. I don't regret anything. I just regret not being a little bit rebellious, but I was dealing with a lot of hard stuff, so I gotta give myself some grace. So, but right now, I'm finding my old self back, and I want to help you with that. Okay, this video is getting too long. Okay, so first off, you really gotta know yourself. You know, who are you? Get to know yourself. Because if you're trying to do something very different that's not accepted in your family or the community you're from, you're going to have parents, even relatives, who are going to stop you in your track like, this is not you. But they can say that to you if you don't know who yourself. So figure out who you are. Do that. Second, be confident. If you have a goal and a dream you want to do, and you feel like you don't know what you want to do, but you want to do it because you're passionate, be confident about it. Yeah, you're obviously gonna fail. I mean, we all gonna fail in life. I know Beyonce has some failures, but she sure ain't gonna tell us because that's a virgo. But like Beyonce, we don't ever see Beyonce failures because she's a Virgo woman. So Virgo don't like to show the failures, but we all gonna fail. So if you want to do something, you gotta be confident. So when you talk to your parents, you gotta be confident. Don't be confident like cocky, but be confident like you know what you're saying and you understand the word that's coming out of your mouth. So now the third one, you really got to the lack master the lack of care. I'm not trying to be rude, but if you want to stand up to your parents and they don't agree with it, you're gonna have to learn to not care of what they're telling you. Like you really got to learn that. So you're gonna have to learn to not care at all. First, it's gonna be hard because obviously the guiltiness is gonna come through. So I would say probably journal or if you have Pinterest, go look for some information of not caring because you can't just force another human being to do what you want to do because that means you don't care. And a lot of time, parents who do that don't really care what the kids think. So you should learn to not care what your parents think. Because if you don't show them that you don't care, they're never going to respect you as an adult. They're just not. Now for women, they only respect you when you decide to get married with somebody low down son and having a baby. But you have to learn to not care. Especially in this life, you're going to have to learn to not care what anybody not thinks. Okay? Because everybody's going to talk shit about you. Not only your parents and your community, everybody. Especially if you're on social media, everybody's going to talk shit. It's about how you're going to deal with that. So learn to not care. Also, another one is speak up. To stand up to your parent, you need to learn how to speak up. I feel like, especially from Virgins, girls, and immigrant girls, I feel like, I'm sorry, but I feel like our parents, especially our mothers, they set us up as people pleasers, which don't do nothing good for us. They don't. Because when you people please, you're allowing people to abuse you, to take advantage of you, to don't respect you, to talk shit behind your back. And I know we've seen this play out with our mothers or other people in our community a lot of times. So learn to speak up. Like, learn to speak up. At first it's gonna be hard because you weren't conditioned to speak up. But you have to learn to speak up. If you want something, girl, you better speak up. You better speak up. And then when you talk to your parent, like I said, try to be respectful, but speak your truth. Don't speak up by yelling, but be comfortable of talking your own opinion and not having no care of how everybody feels. One I would say is be comfortable with being alone, meaning when you do stand your ground with your parents, you are gonna feel alone because Because the community that you are raised in probably not going to understand why such is doing this, that, and the third. So you're going to be alone. And you have to learn to deal with that. And I think, I am dealing with that currently. But I'd rather be alone than to stuck around and not being happy, of not doing the things that bring me joy, and not being around an environment that keeps me stuck. I don't want to do that. So obviously, if you are deciding about wearing red shirt and your parents said no because red shirt is the color of the demon or something, I'm not saying like this could happen, but if you decide as a woman that you don't care about getting married or having kids, you just want to move out by yourself, and you come from like a culture background that see that as a taboo, you have to be prepared to stand alone on your judgment. Even the people who support you, they will come around behind closed doors and be like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, stay your ground, speak up, but be prepared to be alone. Just prepare for that. I also believe that in solitude comes with glory and greatness too. Yeah. The last one is for sure. Okay. For the last one, I would say find your own community. This is a big one. I feel like it's really important to have your own community, because if you relying on the community where you was raised from, which was raised from wherever culture you come from, it's gonna be a little bit chaotic. People are gonna see you like a troublemaker, someone who's being selfish, all this stuff. Meanwhile, they don't freaking know what's going on. But when you have your own community where you can express yourself, you can vent, but with the right people. White people who are genuine and unconditional. Because that was a mistake I made. Because I was hanging out with some bitches who I thought was like my best friend, my own community, girl. There wasn't shit. But that's a lesson I had to learn. Or if you don't have your community, I can be part of your community. Because that's what I'm trying to do with this channel. Be like your own space where women or men or other people like me who don't want to be tied down to this society standards, and we just want to be free and do your shit, So I can be your own community, but this is not you don't need to have your own community to send it to your parents, but you just need to have like an outlet to go to. And I'll say last, because I think this is important, be affirmative. Like, don't be scared to talk your shit. Obviously, don't be rude, don't say shit, but be affirmative. Like, hey, I'm doing this, that, and the third. Because at the end of the day, it's your life. If this was your parent life, you wouldn't have a body, you wouldn't have a heart, you wouldn't have a soul, you wouldn't have feelings. So it's your life, it's your journey. Make it as you see fit. Now, if you're doing something bad, do for the little kids. If you're a teen and you're doing something bad that you may not supposed to do, and your parents are telling you like, no, don't do that, it's bad, then this video is not for you. It's not for you, okay? And you probably should listen to your parents. But if you are a teenager and you don't feel like going to college, to be honest, I'm not gonna make a video for that because not everybody should go to college with all this financial debt going on. But let's say, like, you don't want to go to med school, you don't want to do pre-med, and so with this circumstance, this video will be for you, which you have to learn to be affirmative. Like, this is my life. I'm not gonna go to pre-med. You're not gonna be the one studying for the exam, because I've seen a lot of pre-med students crying, okay? Crying, taking Adderall. You know, they be very depressive. Tell them that this is your life, and you're not gonna do it. Because if they want to do pre-med, they can do pre-med. But this is a video for you. But if you're around talking with a boy that ain't shit, it's not for you, babes. It's not for you. But that's all I wanted to say. I hope my tips and my advice was helpful. If you guys have any tips and advice to share, please comment below, which would be helpful to someone or me, because I'm still learning and growing. Well, you guys have a good day, a nice rest day, and I'll see y'all on the next video.